I don't know if you know this, but Deviantart is dying. I mean, look at all the stupid shit they've been doing. Mature tab, mature tabs for your content, or unfair account suspension for minor offenses for the first offense 1, 2, or 3 times, and then you get your account deactivated. Like, gee, wonder why people are going to Twitter, wonder why people are going to Reddit. Deviantart, if you had to just change your shit instead of, you know, causing more of your own shit to go and backfire on your ass, you should have just knew well enough to leave well enough alone of other people's shit. It's not our fault that you can't keep, you know, your fucking rules straight. Your fucking community guidelines fucking straight. It is not a user's responsibility to know what the fucking guidelines are. Off book. It is not their responsibility. It is your responsibility to show them what the guidelines are. Like, you have a lot of people, you know, going around being like all angry as shit because of all the unfair libtards behind the fucking computers deciding who and who isn't, you know, like, allowed to, you know, have like a way to, you know, keep their accounts, like applicable to, you know, having, you know, a lot of, you know, like, shit going on. It is not a user's responsibility to off the bat, you know, like, to, like, you know, like, know the guidelines, start showing them instead of showing them the terms of service. Show them a list of motherfucking guidelines. And yes, I see a whole lot of shit that other, you know, users got away with. But where's all the old art that I you know, saw on you know, like, DeviantArt on my first account when I first got started on there 6 years ago? Like, where the fuck is all that art at, huh? All the good shit. Trying to keep the good shit under wraps because of censorship? Fuck and you, DeviantArt. Fuck and you. You don't deserve to get a say in who is allowed to have their account still up or still active.
Don't these people see me coming?
I mean, you do not have the right to decide whose account is deactivated or whose account is activated. Pure, plain and simple. You want people to leave this whole X-rated shit alone? Simple. yell at Tumblr for all that shit. Cause they're fucking doing that shit and trying to force their guidelines and their fucking rules down fucking people's throats. I mean, you should know better. You should set a better example for platforms, Deviantart. Like, no wonder why people are getting, you know, a hella lot of angry at, you know, like, libtard, limpdick motherfuckers who think, oh, let's just let all the fucking people block each other. You know, blocking each other off of one another's fucking account. Like you got like a lot of shit to answer for. I mean, at this point, it's just useless space for all the abject bullshit. And you and I both know what's gonna happen when you know a lot of people is gonna end up leaving the platform. Cause, oh, well, why don't we just throw everybody else under the bus without a negational possibility of, you know, not being thrown under the bus? At this point, DeviantArt is just a wasted space. People already know this. I mean, look at all the bullshit that everybody else has been doing over the course of, you know, years of, you know, constant battling the fucking system with the fucking bullshit going on. Like, what kind of limp dick, you know, libtard bullshit is this? You know, we don't need a bunch of people, you know, going around, you know, getting all uppity because some motherfucker posted something that the platform thought that they had the right to judge, rather if it's allowed on the platform or not. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. No one wants you in charge of their fucking page or their fucking profile.
You don't like me very much. That's not true.
No one wants you, the platform, in charge of what they're allowed to put on their page or on their fucking shit. No one wants you in charge of that. No one wants you in charge of what is allowed on the platform or not. I mean, Facebook is going through so much bullshit. Twitter's going through so much fucking bullshit. You have limp dick motherfuckers who think, oh, why don't we just, you know, let everything run fucking loose for a fucking while, and, you know, let everybody else, you know, like, get the fuck on with, like, you know, like, all, like, let them post all kinds of, you know, like, lascivious adult content on their fucking page and on their fucking, you know, portion of the damn website.
My agent needs to stop booking me for,
you know,
that shit is vocally distressful.
and who And let's not forget about that motherfucker Angelo Sotira. You know what, motherfucker? We, the fucking DeviantArt users, is what made your fucking platform what the fuck it is. DeviantArt is gonna be along that long line list of fucking dead fucking platforms that are gonna be on the fucking dead platform train that's gonna fucking wreck into something, and blam, the fucking platforms are dead. Completely dead, as in no one else can make a fucking account on the damn platform or post anything on the damn platform with it fucking dead. That's what happened to Vine and Musical.ly. As soon as Musical.ly hit popularity, bam, it got rebranded as fucking TikTok.
Sorry.
But Musical.ly is still a fucking app. But it's as fucking dead as you know, fucking Vine, back when Vine was still a thing. And you had like a bunch of content violation after content violation after content violation, and also copyright violations going on with, you know, MySpace. Oh, heaven forbid somebody actually gets you know, people interested in, like 100% of the fucking world interested in wanting to be a part of the fucking platform. Like, we already got like users going around posting pro LGBTQ shit, leaving the heterosexual community at like, you know, whatever. Like, you cannot on any circumstances be allowed to promote all kinds of shit without ever causing, you know, the biggest trouble in the world for a bunch of fucking users. Like, YouTube is hitting people with copyright claim after copyright claim after copyright claim after copyright claim after copyright claim. Like, you really think that's gonna, you know, bowl over so well for you? Bear in mind, there's all kinds of fucking users up on YouTube, and you know, you know, it's like the social media platforms are like the fucking seats on a fucking on a fucking train station. It's like seats, like fresh brand new seats, never been sat on, never been tested. Seats on like a fucking train, on like a fucking L station, like a subway L station, like a fucking L station, L train station. Sorry about that. But you got like a lot of people, you know, and you know, it's like the poor or impoverished or unpopular users are like the fucking homeless, the fucking inhabited it. While the bigger users, the massive users, like, I mean, like really huge users of DeviantArt, started putting premiums and all kinds of shit like that on DeviantArt. And that's just saying something. Like, you had like one job. And you know, the community guidelines and the rules are like the fucking bed bugs of the fucking seats on the social media fucking train. Crawling all over the fucking users, biting them, bleeding them, trying to suck them fucking dry. And when the fucking users complain, it's like the fucking conductor fucking kicking the fucking users off. Like, what the fuck? You can't fucking put fucking pesticides on the fucking, you know, internet train to fucking kill off the fucking, you know, website bed bugs that are fucking going home with, you know, the users that are, you know, going back home to their respective fucking platforms, like fucking YouTube, and then fucking contaminating YouTube with all of the fucking guideline shit. Like, there were all kinds of shit on YouTube that were, you know, not allowed. And you know, it's like the fucking internet fucking L train station is it's gonna be fucking empty and devoid of all fucking viable fucking like covered and like train trucks full of fucking unsalvageable fucking platforms. All because they had to have fucking guidelines in terms of service. How is that gonna fucking work? How did that fucking work out for Tumblr? It didn't work out very well for them, did it? Now they're fucking suffering the consequences of removing adult content and going after instead of going after the pedophilic content. Like, what the fuck? It's like fucking crying wolf. But as soon as your fucking platform fucking loses its fucking user base, bam! That's when it's all over. It's about to be fucking over, and everyone knows that it will lead up to the death, the very death, damnation, and destruction of Deviantart as we know it. All because Deviantart could not follow the fucking rules that you know, that Google set the guidelines for a platform to follow. No making your own guidelines for your own platform without the written permission or consent of Google. These platforms did not follow the fucking rules. I mean, that's what happened. Tumblr's no longer a fucking thing anymore. Tumbrex, people trying to, the fucking makers of the fucking CEO of Tumblr is trying to fucking gain back all the fucking followers that they fucking ran off. No, the fucking sex workers they ran off. That made them a lot of money. What the fuck you think was gonna fucking happen when we fucking targeted them, huh? Same thing is gonna fucking happen with DeviantArt if they don't get their fucking shit changed to where you don't need mature content tabs where, or get your fucking account deactivated You're doing this to yourself, Deviantart. And subsequently to the CEO of Deviantart, Angelo Sotira, you're doing this to your fucking self. You're trying to put your own self out of fucking business when you do dumb shit like this. Unauthorizing, like you are unauthorizingly, you're not authorized or given legal consent by Google to deactivate somebody else's fucking account like the way you did me. You fucking deactivated multiple people's accounts without their written permission to do so. You as a platform have to have fucking mission of the fucking owner of the account to deactivate it for a reasonable, justifiable purpose or reason. Not because you damn well want to. I mean, that's kind of like how that fucking is. Like, I am sick and tired of all social media platforms doing without the written consent of the fucking user. If the user did not give you consent to deactivate their account, do not do it on any fucking goddamn circumstances. You do not touch their account. But don't lay one finger on the deactivate somebody else's account without their fucking permission. Without their written permission, you cannot be legally allowed to deactivate their account. Plain and motherfucking simple. That's why Deviantart is going through what it's going through right now. Lack of new content, lack of any content, and whatever content that's available is fucking garbage. It is fucking garbage at this motherfucking point. 'Cause why? Hold on. Why? Maybe because if you know the platform had like obeyed the rules that Google has set for the fucking platform to obey, maybe shit wouldn't have been this bad. Like, no. 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 The platform is to obey the fucking rules of the terms of legal service of Google.
You know what the best part of having a TV show is?
At some point in time, somebody's gonna fucking snitch on the fucking, you know, like, they're gonna fucking snitch and rat the fucking platform out. And there's gonna be somebody stricter that's harsher on the platforms and would ban the platforms. There should be a 5-strike rule against the platform. Too many complaints of the users. I believe that Google should open up a complaint service for the users of any platform. Like, if a platform is violating the terms of service of the fucking App Store, and a user has had their account blocked or deactivated or banned, like like unauthorized by both the user and Google, that you are not authorized to suspend, ban, or deactivate a user's account without the written, documented consent of Google and the user of the fucking platform itself. That's why social media is gonna fucking be punished for disobeying the one simple fucking rule. If you do not have the written consent of the user or of the parent fucking search engine / website that is providing the users of Google a plethora of fucking websites to use at their disposal. I believe that Google should protect the users of the internet from unauthorized guidelines that these platforms are trying to push for. Like, no. At like some point in time, we gotta start holding these social media platforms accountable for their actions. You know, punishing the platforms for putting guidelines without the consent of Google and the user themselves. And you have to like go through like, you know, get like the written on paper consent forms to have for your platform to have authorization to make guidelines and the privilege to have guidelines on your damn platform in the first place. And I think that's another reason why Mark Zuckerberg is in trouble. He did not have the written consent of Google and the users themselves. Did not have the written consent on paper to be like allowed to be legally allowed to have guidelines on their, you know, platforms. And I do believe Tumblr is fucking dead already because of all that shit. And the platform has to, like, you know, sign a terms of service from Google. No shit, because the pedophile shit that they didn't take, that Tumblr didn't take care of. And they started going after the wrong people. That's why Tumblr's dead. Oh, I know what I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about Deviantart is going away with the damn dinosaurs of social media. They started deactivating and blocking accounts and shit. They did that shit to me, and they started hiding all the good shit that was on the platform Like, I think like 6 or 7 years ago. I don't know how long it's been. And I had like like 2 new accounts on there. Like, basically, you have to have written on paper consent from Google to be allowed to have guidelines on your platform. In order to be allowed to have an app on your of your platform on the App Store. And what do you mean? The platforms were not abiding by the rules that Google put in place. There should be rules for platforms to follow by Google. And Google should be making rules for platforms to follow. I mean, look at all the stupid shit that Google is allowing these platforms to get away with. Google has to, at some point in time, stand up and say enough's enough. We cannot handle people walking away from us because you guys are running wild with making terms of services and making your own damn rules that we did not allow you to make. When you sign a contract as a damn platform to have your app on the damn App Store, you as the platform are to follow the rules in order to be allowed to have an app. I mean, that's kind of like how all this kind of shit happened to Tumblr. Vine and Musical.ly are dead because of all the trolling. What do you mean that all the rules are made up? It's a fact, dude. There's barely anybody on Tumblr because Tumblr did not follow the terms of service for platforms to follow. Google don't want to give up the documentation because they didn't make any documentation because they didn't want to protect any of the damn users of any social media platform. It's like that, dude. My point exactly. You remove the adult content off of Tumblr, and there's gonna be no one on there.
Shit, you almost killed me.
It wouldn't be so-called imaginary if, you know, Google actually made the guidelines for the platforms to follow. That means Google should have made the rules for the platforms to follow. That means that there should have been, you know, the you know, like, complaint services for users of social media platforms. Well, the platforms need to be punished. A 5-strike rule against the platform's record. Well, Google should implement a 5-strike rule for a platform. If you have like 1% of the user base of a social network platform complaining to Google that the platform has did something to their accounts, bam, suspended the platform off of the damn app store for at least 3 months, and then 7 months, which would be like the second strike. Well, and then a third strike is like 9 months of the platform being suspended off of the damn app store. And then the fourth strike is a whole year of the app being suspended off of the app store. And the fifth strike means that the platform is outright banned across the board. And that's what Google should have done, was a 5-strike rule, so that way it'll let a lot of platforms know too many people, like 5%, and that's like a massive user base percent of all people who use a social media platform that has an app, that have the right to go and complain and file complaints against the platform at like Google Complaint Center. And then bam, they immediately take matters into their own hands, punishing the platforms. And Deviantart wound up doing that shit to me, and Google did nothing and letting them running rampant with all that shit. I'm not the first one that they removed. The platform has to abide by the terms of business usage that Google should have implemented and enforced, thusly enforcing a bigger rule upon the agreement for the platform to be allowed to have, an app, and should outright deactivate the platform, so that way the platform would learn to remove unauthorized rules. I know what I'm saying. I'm saying that in order to save all social media platforms from being dead weight on the internet, I'm saying that disciplining the platforms for violating the terms of business services of Google and Angelo Sotira and Deviantart wasn't abiding by the damn rules, that was set for them to follow by Google. And Google wasn't doing anything about it. And that's what happens. And yes, there should be like, you know, like a like a documented thing at Google where you can like complain to, you know, like Google, to where if a platform is giving you trouble, they will suspend that platform's, you know, grip on somebody else's account. That means that that platform is being punished for you know, doing what they weren't supposed to do. Actually, platforms do owe their users a debt of apologies and gratitude. The users are what makes the platform so popular. So if they don't want to lose popularity as a user base type of thing, they should, you know, abide by the rules, you know. And one of the rules is don't piss off any of your users. They will go to another platform that actually appreciates and values them, and that ain't trying to censor them. Apparently Google needs to do their job and start punishing platforms for a breach of business contract. That's why a lot of people are not using the internet these days, because these platforms have violated the breach of business contract. Like, there should be something at Google to where, you know, keeping and preventing platforms from overstepping their bounds. And furthermore, it shouldn't be up to the FTC to do this shit. It should be up to Google to punish the platforms for disobeying the business rules, the professional rules. Well, I believe that there should be a 5-strike rule against a platform, dude. Deviantart is gonna end up getting a 5-strike thing against them, implemented by Google themselves, if they actually just applied and stop being a lazy, you know, provider of like a plethora of platforms and shit. Like implementing a 5-strike rule against a platform, so that way the platform doesn't breach the terms of corporate services. And so that way a lot of the platforms would be punished, and one platform would have been deactivated. The entire platform deactivated. That means the CEOs cannot access the platform. the moderators cannot access the platform. And that means the platform is dead. That means banning and deactivating the platform itself for not following the set of rules that Google should have had at the time. Google should be doing, you know, their job and, you know, not leave it up to FTC, because Susan got, you know, like, punished for, you know, the breach of business contract because the FTC got onto her shit because of all the child-friendly content and then collecting data and shit. That's another rule that platforms are breaking. You know, the unauthorized data collection, that's one of many of the rules platforms break. And I'm trying to, you know, like, explain that you know, you can't go around as a platform bullying people into doing what you want. Actually, Deviantart actually did everything wrong. And yet Deviantart gets away with so much and acting like a damn child, getting away with whatever. Google needs to start stepping in and punishing Angelo Sotira for the breach of contract of, you know, there is a contract that you have to sign in order to have, or to be ever allowed to have an app to be put on their app store. And you have to follow the Google's terms of service of business transaction in order to be allowed to have an app of your website. And Angelo Sotira was not following the rules. So therefore, his platform is dying. Because why? Everybody's going to Twitter. Everybody's going to, you know, Reddit, because they're sick and tired of this shit. If you don't like how people are calling your shit out as the CEO of a platform, then don't force your opinion down the throats of the fucking users. That's not how to behave as a platform. All being opinionated and shit about what is and isn't allowed on the platform. I'm not saying that it, well, there are like a lot of like other users that could attest to this. I guarantee everybody that there are users that are pissed that got banned off of, you know, like Deviantart, that got, you know, like unfairly banned. They would agree with me that it's, you know, like Angelo Sotira's fault for overstepping his bounds, and his moderators. Tumblr is being punished right now because Tumblr is not as popular as it once was. Reddit and Twitter are becoming more popular. No platform deserves to have rules. They have to be a certain age to be allowed to have rules. your like platform or website has to be at least 29 or 30 years or 49 years old to be allowed to have rules. Your platform or website has to be of like be like around like the middle age mark to be allowed to have or set rules. If your platform is not old enough or reached, you know, adulthood, middle-age adulthood, to be allowed to have rules. And no, it is not completely idiotic to have like that as to set a standard for all platforms to follow. I mean, that's how all of it works. If too many users complain, then that's a clear indication. That's a clear sign that the awfully young platform is violating Google's rules under Google's nose without Google saying anything or doing anything to stop it. I'm starting to think that Google is fucking lazy at fucking handling these kinds of things. If you know, Google had, you know, followed protocol of when a user of, you know, Google makes a account on a, you know, young, awfully young platform that is too young to be allowed to make the rules, then too many voices will get together and start marching up to the Google headquarters, demanding that they do something about the platforms breaching and violating rules and terms of service that Google should provide the CEOs of all social media platforms. And yes, I'm sick and tired of Deviantart acting like a damn child, getting their way all the damn time. Google needs to step up and start acting like that they got some damn sense and start making it an example out of, you know, a lot of social media websites such as Deviantart, and start disciplining them for their abhorrent, horrible, and disrespectful treatment of their user base. That's why Reddit and Twitter allows you to post what the fuck you want to post on your own damn profile or your own damn page. I mean, no they didn't.
It's good to be the best.
Actually, I know more about what is logically, you know, allowed for like the platforms to enforce. But oh no. People always want to be like, oh, well, why don't we just point some false like information and like have like illogical fallacies about what the platforms are and aren't allowed to do, and siding with the platforms, and everybody acting all brain dead thinking, oh, Deviantart was in the right. How many people has Deviantart banned, and how many of them did they piss off by banning them off of the platform? Countless people. Yes, so yeah, countless people have every right to jump down the throat of Google for not taking care of the problem. And the FTC has to step in like they did with YouTube. Like, YouTube has been in some hot water with the FTC. Deviantart does not know how to behave. Technically, people cannot have the right to side with a platform that wasn't, you know, being very respectful of other people's rights. I mean, it's gonna get to the point where no one is gonna want to use the damn platform. There's barely anything good on DeviantArt these days because why? They were doing something stupid. Real stupid. Like on my old account, like I think it says like being a Deviantart user for 6 years, and I saw some good content that is probably hidden or just hidden from me or some shit like that. Yes, DeviantArt wasn't behaving like a proper platform should. No, they weren't. If they were behaving perfectly, they wouldn't have been, you know, having complaints against them. If they were behaving perfectly. Actually, it does make sense because it's holding platforms accountable for their actions. If a platform has too many people complaining against how they act and behave as a platform, then the platform is not behaving perfectly. If the platform had behaved perfectly and did you know, not infringe on the rights of other people's right to use the damn platform, then yes, they would be in the right, and they were doing things right and just were behaving perfectly. No. For one, if Google had these in place, the platforms would be banned for not treating their users with the utmost respect that their users deserve. So yeah, technically all other platforms were like infringing upon the rights to use their accounts that they had on there. It is not hypothetical. It should have been implemented. And for Google to not ignore all users, that means you can or should have like the like on your Google account, like you could have like the platform or social media report button and flag the social media platform as much as you want, and it affects the platform. I'm not saying child abuse and racism would run rampant. I'm just saying holding all social media platforms accountable for their actions. And this whole senseless, oh, let's protect the LGBTQ community's feelings versus protecting the rights of the straight people. Tumblr got in trouble for the whole child abuse thing. So yeah,
Sorry.
that's an example.
About identity theft.
Go after the wrong people, banning adult content without taking care of the map situation on Tumblr is why Tumblr is getting punished. Because yeah, straight people are really struggling to get their voices heard. The lack of the amount of content and users and people using Tumblr is why Tumblr is being punished. They implemented the wrong shit instead of correcting the mistakes that they have made on their part. Yeah. They did not like attack the map or child predator shit and instead aimed it at like adult content with, you know, actual adults, you know, participating in sex acts. And we all know that Deviantart is about to do the same damn thing. And furthermore, for one, I am not such a child. I am speaking facts, logical facts, that if we hold all social media platforms accountable, we would have, you know, social media accounts not being, you know, like banned for putting adult content on like their pages or their profiles or their accounts, and none of it being child orientated like shit, you know, like it's just bullshit. Honestly, the nonsense that spews out of people's heads about like, oh, all social media platforms could do no wrong. You have to be either brain dead or on crack cocaine to think that they could do nothing wrong. There ain't one social media platform that is perfect. So how dare people think it's illogical to hold them accountable for their actions? If they had have just taken care of, you know, child pornography issues, instead of, you know, like attacking, you know, the adult content that was on their site, that's why that Tumblr is dead. And Deviantart is going to follow suit if they don't change their damn ways. I mean, there's like a lot of other things, to do, instead of, you know, constantly going around just bullying everybody off the platform. You know?
Trying to grab my ass?
When are platform owners going to grow up and realize they need to start taking responsibility? They didn't do it properly. I saw like video memes about, you know, like movie scenes of people jumping ship, and the words pornography and adult content jumping ship. That's a clear indication that they didn't do their jobs properly and didn't take care of the situation the proper way. They should have taken care of the map issue that was running rampant on Tumblr instead of outright removing adult content and all kinds of shit that they were going after the wrong shit. Instead, they should have had somebody, you know, going around sifting through all kinds of content and removing the child pornography and leaving the adult orientated content alone. Being richer than Tumblr does not matter. The matter of the issue is that they should have handled this situation properly. And so should Deviantart. And also, Facebook is being a bit of a hypocrite because they were like outright like doing like hitting people with like red shit, yellow shit on other people's accounts because of like some adult content shit. Like last time I checked, way before there was ever any kids that were using Facebook, there was like a lot of adults that were using Facebook. Actually, I do have an idea of how anything works and what I'm talking about. I'm talking about holding all social media platforms, every single one of them, accountable for their actions and apologizing to the adult users who are trying to build their own community, their own space and their own little space on the platform like their own little side of the platform that is, you know, for them and their adult content. Like their own side. Think of it like a damn city where you have, like, think of it like the city of Steelport, like all 4 districts. You have like your child-friendly district of the internet, your preteen-friendly district of the internet, and your teenage-friendly district of the internet, and your adult-friendly district of the internet. Being a special snowflake is not a part of this equation. I'm just saying, if anyone who is related biologically to the CEO of any social network or social media platform, and they post something of adult content and their shit doesn't get taken down, that screams nepotism. Oh, because my son or daughter or my niece or nephew has posted something on my platform, my website, that was geared towards adults, and yet I'm not going to do shit because that's family. That's where we're headed if we don't hold social media platforms accountable, like Tumblr, Deviantart, all of them. The evidence of some very few users that are on Tumblr that are still posting adult content that have not got taken down, because somehow I know that they're like related or distant cousins of the CEOs or the heads of Tumblr, and their shit don't get taken down. But as soon as somebody else puts like some adult content on the site, their shit gets taken down. But the other person or the other small niche pocket of individuals, they don't get their shit taken down. That's the evidence. I see all kinds of pornographized shit that did not get taken down because it's still up. You have to search for it. There's very few percent of it on the platform, because I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that they are somehow related to the CEOs of Tumblr. I mean, that's how everything is going, dude. Thus far. And everything is going to shit right now for you know, Tumblr. It's not made up. If you actually sift through a lot of, you know, content on Tumblr, it'll actually show it. Psst. There is no conspiracy. It is evidence, dude. We can't have social media platforms running rampant like this. That's why Reddit and Twitter are the only viable options for adult content if you ever need, you know, to go to like adult content type of stuff. I never do that. I post adult content and then I get banned or get my shit taken down. I never do stupid shit like that. Not at all. That's the kind of shit I don't do. Because why? It is not. It's just not what I do. Anyone who thinks that is obviously not knowing what the fuck they're saying. It's not that I'm so sensitive, it's that a lot of platforms have been getting away with like banning hundreds, thousands maybe of people. And not also, I have a problem with that. A lot of people have a problem with that too. Look at the way TikTok has been acting. Chloe Roma, aka Chloe, yeah, Chloe Sunderland, yeah, Chloe Roma, the woman who sticks up for men's rights, yeah, she got banned about numerous fucking times off of Tumblr, or should I correct myself, TikTok, because of defending men. That's the kind of bullshit that social media platforms are doing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Hold social media platforms accountable. No special treatment for either the LGBTQ or the feminist trash, dude. The second, third, and fourth wave feminism is so bad. The first wave feminism, I don't mind. But when you weaponize feminism against men, that's when it's a fucking problem. That's why I'm saying that there is no reason to call it special snowflake sensitivity or anything like that shit. Like I'm saying, I understand what other users are like saying when they say they are tired of having their shit taken down as well. There's an awful lot of people who had been banned unfairly. Not just me, but a crap ton of other people that probably got banned for no reason. TikTok's rules are so fucking skewer and abject and and so fucking unclear. They move the fucking goalposts to wherever the fuck they want because why? Oh, we're TikTok. Don't be mean to us. Like, give me a fucking break. You're the one who threw the first fucking punch out of your fucking user base, and now you're whining, crying, and complaining that they're fucking striking back at you. Justifiably so, because they're pissed. And how about all these social media platforms stop fucking crying about being, you know, attacked by their own users that they threw the first punch at? And yes, same rules apply to Deviantart. Equal rights, equal fights. You as a platform throw the first punch at a large amount of your users, they have a right to throw the punch right back at you and finish whatever fight that you started. As a platform, don't start shit you can't handle. Don't start shit that you can't handle if you're a platform. Like I say the same thing about all these social media platforms that want to throw the first punch, and as soon as they throw the first punch, they want to cry, "Oh, where? It's unfair that somebody made another account throwing punches at me because we start throwing punches at them first, and then they're throwing a mega barrage of punches at us because we started throwing punches and started shit. Us platforms cannot even handle. And a warning to all platforms: don't start shit you can't handle. You throw a punch at your user base, do not expect them to not throw a punch back. And when they throw a punch back, they throw it back harder than you have ever thrown your first punch. And this is a warning to all social media platforms. I warn you now. Don't start shit that you can't even handle. That is a warning to all social media platforms. Don't start shit that you can't even handle with your user base. They're what made your platform as big as it is. They're what generated revenue for your platform. So I'd be very fucking careful who I fucking pick a fight with. Because I'm not the one who's picking a fight with my user base. Because I'm not the one who's starting fights with my user base, throwing the first fucking punch, acting like a fucking baby. And you know, if you can't handle getting your ass beat as a damn platform, then don't fucking start the fight in the first place. Comply with what users expect you, a fucking $1 million fucking company, is expected to fucking follow a fucking set of guidelines that a fucking platform is to fucking obey. Psh, There is no fight. Psh, yeah, right, man. Once you start banning somebody, you're throwing the first fucking punch as a platform. That's when you start the fight as a fucking $1 million company online. That's when you, the $1 million company, deserve to get your ass kicked. And you will lose. You as a $1 million company don't want no part of pissing off a vast user base. Anyone who has been banned off of the platform, you're throwing the first punch. And you're starting a fight that you can't even handle. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to start biting.
If you had abided by Google's rules as a $1 million company and not started fights with people by banning them off of said platform, it wouldn't be a problem for you. If you as a so-called $1 million company follow the rules. Leave the people's rights of free speech alone. Hey, I'm not the one who's crying. I'm just stating the facts. That if the $1 million company doesn't want to get their ass kicked numerous damn times, I'm fixing to wear their ass out and just join up with a bunch of people who are tired of them, and then gang up on the damn platforms and gang up on the damn $1 million companies. You know?
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
No, the $1 million companies online don't know how to act. That's the biggest problem right there. People who want to like troll and mock somebody is probably in the same boat as a vast majority of the other people who are tired of every other platform's shit, because these $1 million companies don't know how to act properly or behave properly like a proper professional, you know, platform is supposed to act online. I believe that $1 million companies should be banned after the 5th strike against them. And no amount of money that they could pay will ever get their platform back on the availability of being searched up on the Google App Store. That means that their app and their company will be banned off the internet entirely. And if Google had have made rules for the platforms to follow, like respect all your users and unauthorized of banning all users will result in the company and the platform to be terminated. It's not me that's crying. Deviantart is gonna fall on deaf's ear. because they didn't want to behave or act properly. That means respecting all your users without causing all your users problems. That's the golden rule of owning a damn platform. Is that you are to follow the rules. I'm just saying. And yes, Deviantart has crossed the line about that shit. That's how it goes. Once you start breaking rules as a platform, a lot of shit will happen. A lot of it will happen.
Hey! Watch what you do!
I'm not in the mood. I need to finish that IFF transponder. Do you think I was a brute or something? I'm helping you, remember?
What is your problem? We're just gonna stand here. You think this is a game? I said knock it off.
Sorry. I was just thinking about identity theft.
Pause! Pay attention!